after the heavens dumped what felt like a month's worth of monsoon on my noggin on the way to work, delivering me to the studios like Jack Sparrow having fallen overboard. I've already rained down a litany of curses on this very Tuesday. But fear not, I have kept in the tank a little slither of sharp-tongued satire, sheltering under a mighty oak in Hyde Park as rivulets of khaki bird turd eddied around my sneakers, giving me a moment to ruminate on the horrors of the 21st century for your viewing delight.
Go on then.
All right. Now, over a third of Brits are suffering long-term health problems brought on by being fat as a kid. Chronic back pain, high blood pressure and diabetes are among conditions that find their origin in childhood obesity and affect 34% of 46 to 48-year-olds, according to a study by UCL. And obesity is on the rise. Let's face it, kids don't do the weekly shop. You can only imagine what sort of supermarket sweep horror would result if they did. Nor are they particularly drawn to the rabbit food sustenance adopted by, well, women like me in their 30s to right the wrongs of excess Sunday Chardonnay. No. Children love churros and Cheerios and Cheetos and cheese strings and will consume a lot of them like a frenzied hyena after a drought. So it really is up to adults to watch what kids eat. And frankly, allowing a child to pile on the pounds is a form of abuse, given that it makes them poorly, basically, for the rest of their lives. But, I can only imagine how hard it is to stave off a tot's tantrum while conducting a Zoom call, doing the dishes and running around after a grunting man-child simultaneously. If it were me, I'd probably be frisbeeing fridge raiders across the kitchen into the open mouths of rugrats, like feeding seals at the zoo. So, the buck actually stops with big food. It is simply not OK to push products which are basically killing people. We wouldn't allow children to play with toys that intoxicate them or plough through lines of Class A drugs while swigging a litre of Scrumpy. So why do junk food firms get away with peddling snacks that really do screw people up for life?
Because they're not breaking any laws, I guess. It's up to the government to legislate.
Now, you're a dad. You've got to monitor what goes into your child's body.
Yeah.
When you shop, are you quite conscientious about looking at sugars and things, or?
We're very lucky because we have two little girls and they tend to love fruit. They actually prefer fruit to sweets.
Oh.
Yeah, which is actually a godsend. Kyra, if you give Kyra... Give her the choice between sweets and chocolate or fruit. She will go for fruit every time. So we're quite lucky in that respect. But it is, you still want to make conscious choices and you allow them a bit of chocolate, but not too much chocolate. You allow them sweets, but not late at night. Otherwise, you've got problems getting them to bed. So you do have to be responsible with the food you give them. But we are quite lucky.
When you're buying things in the supermarket, packaging designed for kids, that at least some thought has been put into it that it's not going to make them sick.
Yeah. Well, yes, I guess they would say they're sticking to the guidelines that they're producing healthy food for the kids, and it's about parental choice and child choice as well, I guess, at the end of the day.
I blame big food. Anyway, work shy, that's a rather understated term for the new pandemic sweeping across the West. Work-phobic is more like it. Yeah, Zoom may have enabled business as usual while we were all under government-enforced house arrest, but it seems like salaried sofa slouching is just way too easy and appealing. It's better for our mental health, right? Wrong! Nobody wants to do work anymore. Anything that requires leaving the house seems to all of a sudden be chronically understaffed. Driving a lorry? Nope. Can't do that from the comfort of the couch. Pulling pints? The robot to do that controlled remotely isn't invented yet. Announcing tube delays over the tunnel? Yeah, you can't use FaceTime. It just won't cut it. So, is it any wonder half the country is virtually ground to a halt when most of the country has become way too accustomed to a virtual existence? And no, this isn't about me finding Whole Foods hasn't got this week's supply of Iberico Bellotto delivered from Spain. This is about all those people out there who have forgotten the magic of living in a society. The more we sit in our little microcosms wired into our echo chambers, the more we'll become sad, suspicious and sickly sedentary. So please, for you, for me and the entire human race, see that thing outside your window? It's quite good out there. Leave the house.
Yeah. Problem is, when you leave the house, you take a screen with you and you're attached to it permanently. So actually, it doesn't matter where you go.
Now, is it any surprise that while we're all forced to wire ourselves into our laptops like anachronistic cyborgs, half-human, half-algorithm-regulated avatar, that big tech has recorded eye-wateringly massive profits? But with such influence surely comes responsibility. Responsibility that so few of these big tech firms exhibit. And I now genuinely fear the unchecked damage on humanity as we all forget about the real world and get snarled in the online Gordian knot of culture wars, disposable living, fake news, hardcore porn, Chinese spyware and rabid consumerism on steroids. But who are these faceless fascists deleting presidents' profiles while ignoring the fact traffickers, abusers, terrorists and paedophiles are using their platforms, amplifying societal divisions through bots, enabling racists and bullies to unleash vitriol, driving innocent people to mental despair, and all the while paying about as much tax as a Panamanian portfolio manager? It's high time we globally regulated the internet and put paid to the wild, wild west of the World Wide Web. Yeah?
Indeed.
Well, there you are.
Next.
OK, now, I'm sure when someone drew up the design for this, it seemed like a good idea. Ah, a lovely grassy knoll in London's most famous park with a sweeping vista of an urban idyll. Didn't anyone anticipate elfin safety or the Great British Summer? The addition of brutal iron railings to stop one lounging down the side of Mud Mountain while squinting through the rain at a nadir of empty cycle lanes and cranes while Marble Arch vagrants cull one out below you makes this new London feature look like a gulag watchtower at a Soviet-era Stan. £2 million for this utterly pointless mound of sad-looking scrub. Slow clap, Westminster Council.
Well, yeah, it doesn't look great, does it? And it hasn't been, it doesn't appear to have been warmly received. But I remember the Millennium Dome when that came out and everyone was poo-pooing it, and then it actually turned into an amazing live events. I'm not saying that that's going to happen with a hill, but how it starts and how it ends up, it could be different. I haven't been there myself, no. No, but yeah, maybe I'll take a trip up it.
It slide back down pretty quick. Now, why don't you try this app out on your cat? Yeah, that's what my EP, my exec producer, texted me this morning. Tably apparently uses AI technology to scan your kitty's face to tell you what mood it's in. As if I didn't know that when Mog's saucer eyes look like she's smashed a bag of meth, that my ankles aren't at serious risk. Or when she's stretched out like a draft excluder, ears rotating like a satellite at Jodrell Bank, that she's quite content, but she won't forgive me for disrupting her reverie. Or when she winds around my legs with a question mark tail trying to break my neck as I sleepily put the kettle on that the biscuit bowl is empty. Anyway, here's me trying to herd a cat in the singular while she flashes her bumhole, asks to go into the garden and headbutts the phone like an old pal. My verdict? Half an hour of my life I'll never get back. And a cat who is doubtless saving up her vengeance for when I get home tonight. No, apparently grumpy face all the time. Then it says, don't be alarmed. Look, don't be alarmed. Your cat wants to kill you. Look, there she is. Don't be alarmed. Yeah, there you are. Look, I mean, honestly, trying to actually get her face for just 5 seconds was a task in itself.
Yeah.
There we go. Apparently that was her being friendly. And after that I said, don't be alarmed.
Yeah, there you go.
Don't download the app.
You should be don't download the app, and you should be telling your cat what you told everyone else earlier, which is get out of the house.
Well, she was asking to be let out of the house, but I was trying to film her face.
There you go.
Poor little
trying
blighter.
to put cats on phones and what nonsense.
Welcome to the GB News YouTube channel. You can watch us live 24 hours a day, catch up on your favourite shows, and join in the conversation in the comments below.
Don't forget to subscribe and you'll never miss any of our exclusive content.